Good morning, everyone. It's now day 23. We are so nearly there. Let's have a look behind day 23, shall we? Day 23 brings us 3 men. Now, that's interesting because we don't know that there were 3 wise men. The only number of 3 we know from that bit is the present. So let's just have a think. God had allowed his son to be born. Do you remember I told you yesterday? Mary had given birth to baby Jesus, wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in the animal manger because there was no room for them to stay in an inn. They were just in this poor, shepherdy, lowly cattle shed. We don't quite know, but either way, it wasn't a nice, warm, comfy bed. And God needed a sign that his son had been born. And he sent a star. And I think that's really important because actually our little block as we've been walking along has been a star. I don't know whether you can see that. Not very clear. There we go. A star. And that star was seen in the east and many, many miles away. And wise men were watching the sky and they realised that that star had an important significance. That star meant that a new king had been born, and they knew that they needed to follow that star to find where this new king was. And they gathered together some gifts, just as you do whenever you know that you are going to see a new baby. Now, I don't know about you, but I would give something for them to wear, something for them to play with, something for mummy to maybe pamper her with. But not these wise men. They were wise and they had insight from God, I'm sure, as to what gifts would be significant for this new baby. They took gold, frankincense and myrrh. Now, gold was a sign of the baby being a king. Gold was very important. It was a sign of kingship. So these wise men knew that this baby was going to be a king. Gold, frankincense. Now, frankincense was a very strong perfume and aroma that would have been burned by the priests back in the temple that was built when the sacrifices needed to be offered to God. Frankincense would have been one of the things that they would have smelt, and that smell offering would have gone back to God. But these wise men, they knew that that wasn't going to be needed anymore because Jesus was going to be that person who would no longer need priests. Through Jesus, we could talk to God without needing to go to a temple and asking a priest to say the words to God for us. Jesus was going to get rid of all that. He was going to be that ultimate priest. And that was gold, frankincense and myrrh. And myrrh is a bitter herb that is used in burial. And those wise men knew that Jesus' reason for being born wasn't just to be born and be God with us, but ultimately he would die. And we can roll on a few months from now and we'll be celebrating Easter. And we will be celebrating a time when we look at how Jesus did die for us on that cross over 2,000 years ago. But the good thing is he didn't stay dead. He rose again 3 days later. And those gifts that these wise men brought were so significant. Gold, frankincense and myrrh to indicate that Jesus would be a king, a priest and a prophet. The people at the time didn't really understand the significance. I think Anna and Simeon probably did. They'd been listening to God. But everybody else around needed to see Jesus and hear him grow up as a man to really understand the significance. And we are so nearly there because those wise men set off on that journey following the star. It took them many, many months. When we look at our little nativity scene and the wise men are in the stable with Mary and Joseph and Jesus as a baby, that's not quite accurate. It took much longer. The time that the wise men managed to get to see Jesus, Jesus was probably a little boy, maybe up to 18 months or 2, and would have been living in a little house by then. But still, when they saw him, they bowed down and worshipped their king. And I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, Christmas Eve, for us to undo the last 2 days together. Please join me. It'll be a bit longer because we've got a few more things to do with all of these. So I can't say what time it is because I don't know. I just do this when I'm here. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.